Of the hero's path shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Good morning. Can we have a seat? The Honorable Transport Secretary, sir, the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, Abuja, the Managing Director, Access Solutions Limited, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, officers and men of the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, I welcome us to this maiden stakeholders meeting. This morning we're all welcome. I want to thank you all for your patience thus far. Like the Transport Secretary has said, this meeting this morning is like a stakeholders meeting where we meant to actually interact. So it's going to be more of an interactive session after the initial speech that will be given by the relevant the TS and other relevant persons. So once we have that, we're going to have like an interactive session. It's going to be like a feedback mechanism where we hear from the TS. We also want to hear from you directly. Without wasting much time, sir, like the TS has actually said, we should obey the last order. This program is going to be a very brief and snappy one. I would like to invite the director for his opening speech and welcome address, sir. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Have you skipped the opening prayer? Oh, you have done it. I prefer to stay highly, and I will remain sitting. The Transport Secretary, FCT Transportation Secretariat, Comrade Kayode, the Managing Director, Access Solution, DSA to the Secretary, Transportation and his entourage, the management staff of the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, other officers here present, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I welcome everybody to this stakeholders meeting today. I am so glad that the journey we started some time back in the mid-2010 is now a leading innovation in motor vehicle administration in the country, and we are still moving on. Technology drives the world, they say, and that was the FCTA beliefs when in 2010 it was decided that all aspects of the DRGS operation should be automated. Larger percentage of people here today will agree with me that we could barely have our peers and doubt that automation will throw us or our people out of work, or that it may just break down within a short period. However, contrary to those peers, the only people that are now out of job are the counterfeiters of vehicle documents, fake number plates, and racketeers. Our desire to create an easily accessible database, aspiration to improve and protect our revenue generation procedure, ultimate ambition to reduce process time, etc., kept us going despite several challenges. This has brought out innovations that help us achieve more than 100% increase in revenue generation since 2010, provided revenue security. It has reduced processing time. DRTS now has a clean and easily accessible database. There is now ease of information sharing with other agencies. personal development and technology transfer, among others. In fact, we have practically achieved close to 100 automation in our daily activities, and FCT has that. We will not relent in our quest to achieve excellence. I therefore welcome everyone to this meeting and charge us to contribute meaningfully in review of our past activities and in charting new ways and innovations that might enhance our work. Today, we'll witness the launch of our innovation that will project us into the league of world-based practice and technology advanced agencies of our time, and this might just be the beginning. I honestly wish to express my gratitude to the Secretary of Transportation, Comrade Kayode Okpepa, and his team for his charismatic leadership that has brought us the best out of us. My unreserved appreciation also goes to our faithful partners, Mrs. Access Solution, for having stood with us through thick and thin. I salute your courage and doggedness. I appreciate you for organizing this meeting, and I pray that the management team and the entire TLTS staff for your cooperation and unquenchable zeal to embrace innovation and technological development. I really appreciate you all. Once again, I welcome you all at this wonderful occasion. Thank you.
Can we put those hands together again for the Director of Road Traffic Services, Haji Wadat Ali Bondiga. Thank you very much, sir. We shall be proceeding straight into the speech by the Managing Director, Access Solutions Limited, Mr. Elijah Olariwaju. Can also put our hands together for him, please.
I would have loved to, good morning everybody. I would have loved to stand on the existing protocol, but for the benefit of our Capital Territory Administration, the Directorate of Road Transport Secretariat, the officers and personnel of the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, members of the High Table, the representative of the members of the Fourth Estate of the quickly, because the Transport Secretary has told us that we have to be very fast with this meeting. He has other engagement outside. We want to thank you very specially for honoring this meeting and also for inspiring this meeting. Basically, let me start by saying that let me sincerely appreciate the FCT Transport Secretary again and his management team, whose drive, craving, appetite, passion, resolve, and commitment are the reason behind where we are here today. Sir, we celebrate you here today, sir. I want to inform you that within the short period of your appointed leadership in you, we have seen, the passion to make the new Nigerian vision a reality. This is the kind of leadership we want. When you work with such a leader, it's apparent that you will be driven to unleash your hidden potentials. And that's one of the things we're seeing happening, the revolution we're seeing happening in BRTS and this one today. May it be noted also on good note that this is the secondly, I'd like to also appreciate the director himself, the FCT Directorate of Road Traffic Services and his officers and men for the unalloyed support we have enjoyed during these years of your standing commitment to see this relationship work. We will be seeing more of this roundtable discussion in the years to come. Madam Alaji Wadata, if I'm permitted to use those protocols, thank you so very much, sir. It's been a journey through thick and thin. The FCT, through the Transport Secretariat Directorate of Road Transport Services and Motor Licensing Authority, in the year 2019, appointed or inaugurated a competitive bidding through which we emerge as the preferred bidder to provide the automation solution for for the automation in the DRTS. I remember vividly in those days, we were not given a chance that this will ever work. Sir, you remember? Director, you remember why your office was being swarmed day and night that this thing can never work. But today, we are living witnesses of the reality of a dogged leadership. To this again, we want to thank all the support has made this work. Let me start by saying that when we started, the automation process actually started with vehicle licensing, general motor receipt, and third-party insurance plugging. But today, it has reached a crescendo, which almost every part of the various processes. I think we should give them a round of applause. As I speak with you today, like the director said the other time, we have, by the special grace of God, the DRTS can boldly say it's been a national pride to the FCT. Because I remember a number of times where there have been quite a lot of security issues, when they need data, it is the department of this department, I mean the people of the road transport services were the one that came to the rescue. I remember a number of security issues in the peak period of the Boko Haram menace in the FCT. Quite a number of information were required that it was through this automation that your databases provide the national office the requisite information. Thank you so very much. In order to facilitate payment and reduce turnaround time and consummating transaction, we have also engineered quite a lot of innovation in payment space. Right as we speak to you, as I speak to you today, payments across the entire spheres for all these services have been completely automated. And today also we will, the Transport Secretary will be launching another dimension in this sphere. If you recall very well, sir, Director, you have been with us on all this journey. Initially, the total revenue we're experiencing was in the neighborhood of, as far back as 2009, 2008, 2009, was in the neighborhood of 300 million. But today, we are in the neighborhood of 2 billion. And today, as I speak with you, the Transport Secretary has given us another bar. So everybody should be ready for that. And we are on the threshold to move the revenue to 3.5 billion naira per annum. And I think that's one of the reasons we're here. Thank you for your leadership and visionary position in that. And the outcome of this will be seen today. The Transport Secretary himself will be here to tell you and detail some of the strategies we're keeping in place to make this happen. Among most of the things we are showcasing across the borderline are self-service kiosks. If you go to all the regime of all the offices of your major operational offices, we have manufactured self-service kiosks. We put it there so that people with their terminals, with their card can pay for service. You have shown transparency to people. You have led the path in service delivery to make sure that people can see your work as transparently as possible. And I think we have not had any of this in any part of the country that have this kind of transparency that you have shown in the FCT and the kind of leadership you have shown in this area. I think you deserve a round of applause also. Now, you will agree with me that you are actually in line with CBN mandate in terms of cashless society initiative, because you started it right from the beginning and you've driven this quite a lot. Now, part of the things that we'll be looking at today will be part of the technologies to enhance enforcement. And the the Transport Secretary will be coming to share this. In conclusion, I want to charge us up to brace up, because this solution will be driving together to achieve more. We also want to solicit for your candid feedback. I learned something from a wise man. He said there is no perfect system anywhere, and there is no bad system anywhere. Any system is defined by the level. But you see a very good product without a feedback and a consistent support system, people will drop it. So I want to celebrate each and every one of us that is here today, and I want to welcome you to this communion together, that by the special grace of God is going to be the beginning of greater things in the Directorate of Road Traffic Services in the FCT. Thank you so very much. God bless you.
Can we put those round of applause again for Mr. Elijah Olarawaju, the Managing Director, Access Solutions Limited. He has been at the base and core of the innovations, some of the innovations we've seen around the Directorate of Road Traffic Services and its operation. Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful speech. Going ahead to next item, we will be hearing directly from the man who has kept all of us. If you said you are fired, you are fired. And you can reverse it immediately and say, you are Transport Secretary, sir. It's a privilege having you in our midst this morning. Can we put our hands together?
But that's not your fault. Can we sit down? Yeah, good morning. I want to formally welcome you. But that welcome is not formal. Because you started doing the sitting down. So now I'm standing also, you are formally welcome. So this is the first, right? We are going to have it every quarter. Whether I remain here or not, you should be having this with all your consultants so that we can improve on service. When I first came, I told you that my focus would be what? Who can remember? I never said enforcement.
Data.
Eh?
You said data.
No. No. Okay, this is giving me an impression that you are not following up. I said, when I met you on your ground, no, I said service delivery. Two of us. So that means we have forgotten. So I said service delivery, and this is what we meant by service delivery. We are all stakeholders. We are all equal partners. The consultant is our friend. The motorist is our client, and is also our employer, right? Whatever they pay for motor vehicle administration is what the government will use to pay your salary, including your overtime. The theme of this program put together by Ross and your consultant is modern realities in transport management and administration in FCT. I've decided to put something down so that I don't miss out anything. It's not different from what we have been discussing over a period of time. And having discussed with the consultant, we agreed, let's bring them to a more conducive environment, under air condition. It's nice. You can see all your tables at some drinks. We owe you better, let me say, good condition of service. We must treat you even though you are on the street in the sun, 42 degrees sometimes, terrible humidity, sometimes in the rain. We owe you that responsibility to be comfortable. And for the number of months or years I will spend with you, I want to leave a memory that any one of you can decide to leave this job and be the chief logistics officer of any multinational. You are not VIO. What are you? Road traffic services officer. That is bigger than VIO. Then we all call you VIO because of the old. So you are road traffic services officer. And what that means is that you are providing what? Service. We want to change the narratives. And me, I'm not afraid. Let them say anything. I've listened to radio today. The doctor said, we are missing it. And the editorial says, we are missing it. People don't have this. They don't have money. We are asking the vehicles to carry air condition. Tell me any vehicle manufactured in the last 15 years that doesn't have an air conditioner. So the people manufacturing the vehicle are not stupid. They are not stupid. With the temperature here, if the vehicle is conducive, people will use it. And the people will live longer. But our intention is not about air conditioner. Our intention is about service delivery. So if you want to be a taxi driver, you must be ready to offer service. What is your service? A conducive, effective, efficient, safe, reliable public transportation. And who is going to drive it? Our road traffic services personnel. Now, let me say this. If there is any stakeholder in the road transport or traffic system in FCT, you are number one, not the minister. Not me. Maybe your director with you, because he also wears uniform. They definitely know what that is. So you are the first line. Now, we also want to, in the next few months, turn you to the face of FCT. You know what it means to be the face of FCT? Anybody that enters FCT and he misses his way will look for a white and black person. Anybody that is on FCT roads and needs help will call your number first or look for you. Anybody that is in FCT at 6 a.m. must be able to see you first before seeing anybody. That is why I am more particular about where they post you. I have talked to them, but it seems we are still having some issues as to be able to post you to zones or commands nearest to where you live. When we have enough personnel, a lot of the officers will be posted to where, close to where they live, so that you don't need to take too long time. But beyond that, we are working on the public transport system in such a way that wherever you live, it Gwagwalada, Suleja, Asaka, Maraba, New Nyanya, New Kavu, 1 man village, 10 man village, wherever you live, you should be able to get to work under 45 minutes. That would be a target. So we are working on the public transport system. And once that is done, then you'll be able to leave your house at 6 a.m. and get to work at 6:45. And some of you will be able to leave at 5:30 and get to work at 6 o'clock. Then we can then start doing 3 shifts. Where some will work in the morning, work 7-8 hours, another one work in the afternoon, and by 10 o'clock we close. Then the third shift will be off. I told your director, I don't know what they're doing now, that we are going to work hard to make sure in 14 days, you don't need to work more than 9 days. Do you know what that means? If you are supposed to work 5 days, normal civil servant, for our road traffic services, in 14 days, you should be working 9 days. That's the way it should be, because you work most times standing. I'm talking of the operational officers, not the admin or legal. Those one will work there. Those one will work normal 10 days, so that you can have an off day once every 2 weeks, so that you can. Then by the time you are coming to work the next day, the next week, you come better refreshed. Now, the other thing I want to also state here is we decided that we would do this job with less hazard. We are concerned about your safety. And we are also concerned about your progression. That is why we are working hard to see to the possibility of creating the Traffic Management Agency and the Motor Vehicle Administration Agency. When we are able to do that, there will be some other new things we will be bringing out for you. A bit that as it may, let's talk about the people we are meant to provide service to the bank. They give you. That money they pay to the bank is directly to you. It's the money we use to pay your salary. So they have paid you to manage traffic. They have paid you to make sure they are safe. And they have paid you, the husband has kept the wife in your care. The wife too has kept the husband in your care. Minister has kept his family in your care. President Muhammadu Buhari has kept the wife and everybody in your care. And that is your responsibility. There are a lot of issues. You know, you don't hear me say challenges and problems. So when you hear me say issues, you can think it is challenge. But me, I don't have challenge in my life. Every challenge I have, God has taken it away. He has replaced it with opportunities. No, no issue. One of the major issues you are having getting your job done is the hazard of the job. Recently, a man stopped at the traffic light at Shodaide and Madu Bello by Ministry of Finance. And I decided to use to enter. So when the light came, the man carried me. He called the carry me go. I don't know whether to Bayelsa or Rivers, I don't know. But the man was speeding. And every checkpoint, I would tell him stop. For police say, no, go stop. He's taking me away. Why did I enter his vehicle? So me, I called Wadata. And I told the man that, as I have called the Ogabiayo now, the man is tracing me using GPS. So eventually the police were able to stop the man. So you face that every day. They can take you. They even kill some of you. That guy that was stabbed, you don't know why. They may be those he has been trying to correct and don't want to listen. So you face a lot of hazard. So we are coming up with things that will make your job easy for you. It's because of the problem of identity. You know, Nigeria now, we are doing a lot to improve on identification. BVN, biometrics with your phone. Once you have a phone in Nigeria, we don't know you. You are known. Once you have a bank account, everybody knows you. Once you have a car, they should know you also. I mean, so we are now coming up with full technology so that you people don't need to work with blood. You can now work with brain. You know, working with blood is, your Bible says, Pegeron. For that, I don't understand now. Who can say it in Hausa? Pegeron. Eh? What is Pegeron? Where is Yaro? Where is Yaro? Where is Yaro? You finished radio since 9:30 now. Where is Yaro? Who understand that? Oh yeah, Aregoshala, what is Pegeron? Wait. What? Do we? I like that you correct? Okay, don't worry. You know, when you work extra hard, that means you are using your blood. Then when you work and get good results, that means you are using your brain. And people don't get to understand. If not all of you, you are all graduates. Once you have OMD, you are a graduate, including the traffic light, the vehicle, to have an identity. You know what I'm saying? The traffic light will have an identity. You know, it has an IP address. Situation that right on my consultant to make sure all these you will be able to know. So we are looking at systems that we identify. So we are coming up with a new product, and that is why we call this meeting. Before we introduce this product to management, before we introduce it to the stakeholders, you must first of all brief the Honorable Mr. and the FCT. It's an offense on that. Use your ATM card to pay. Then today we don't collect cash. But the public, some of them, less than 1% believe when they pay money to towns, they pay it to us. They will want to tell them we don't have a system called the Public Transport Management System. We are going to give vehicles, mass transit vehicles, we have routes, Keke Napep, we have routes where they are supposed to fly. All taxis will be on your database. Right from your phone, you will be able to know if a taxi is genuine or fake. Even if it is painted, you will be able to know if it is genuine or fake. That is the system we want to bring. But if you say you don't want it, we will modify it. No, also to know, because we meet every Wednesday to discuss this issue. And if somebody commits, if it doesn't come for the bill, when it comes for the next registration, the man will notice that it's already owing. You know, it's like when you don't pay a government charge, your son or daughter's school fees, when he reach the second time, graduate, no results. So we want to create something like that, and the consultant is working on this with us. This identification will show color. So when a vehicle is stolen, and the person who stole it has changed the plate number, and you put the plate number and the thing is showing a different color, you know, this one, I'm suspecting. You get it? So we are putting up. Then also, this meeting is also to discuss with you the processes of this change of ownership. Duro was on radio today, good job. Yaro was on radio today, good job. All of you must know the processes. When a person changes a vehicle, or sell a vehicle, or buy a new vehicle, the plate number belongs to you, not to the vehicle. Do you know that? Yes. That is the rule since 2010. Plate number no longer belongs to vehicle. It belongs to the owner of the vehicle. So if I sell my vehicle to you, number. If I don't remove it, you must take my plate number, throw it, and that is working in every. If it doesn't work here, you are, what did I say? Responsible. Right. Can you listen? Owner of the equipment, vehicle, caterpillar, trailer, whatever. So when you sell a vehicle, the plate number must be removed. So when they bring a new vehicle to you to register, Tokumbo, or purchase Nigerian Tokumbo, whatever, they cannot come and renew the plate with the former plate number, because the former plate number is attached to a name, and you must not change that name. Once you sell a vehicle and you remove your plate number, if you buy another vehicle, you can go and attach that plate number to that vehicle. You go to vehicle registration center and you tell them, I have a new vehicle, then they will not change the information on the vehicle, attach it to that plate number. And if you don't do it, and we find out you are not doing it, you are aiding and abetting and supporting what? Crime. There are things I cannot say here because there is a camera. I will have told you that I will have gone far, but I will tell you, top, every vehicle involved in crime in this country, once the vehicle is picked, we know the owner, including bomb blast, we know the owner. So you have to be partner. It is for the security. Can we please listen? Wow. When it's time for interactive session, we will discuss it. So we are creating a system in line with modern standard. I am not creating it. It has been there since 2009. That's what they call it, enhanced driver license program, enhanced vehicle number plate system, enhanced motor vehicle administration system, and you must be part of it. I noticed a lot of you, even in this room. One was even saying, no, I'm seeing him now. That means he doesn't know. And if you put that kind of person, he's not guilty. It will be my fault that we did not do sensitization. So we cannot go to the public to sensitize them when we are not fully. If somebody asks a roadworthiness from any part of Nigeria, it is valid in FCT. So, as I'm talking to you, all other states are also working on this system. We are talking to the commissioners, commissioners of transportation, so that every state gets serious. And that is why we must put everything online. So, same way, we'll be able to view people coming from Nasarawa, Niger, Suleja, Lagos. And that is why we started Operation Giraffe. Because we discovered those with those out of state plate number, they don't renew. So this Operation Giraffe, we must take it very, very serious. They are the vehicles that will be used in committing crime in FCT, believing that their document is not validated. So going beyond that, the next issue this transport system will do for us is it will improve your enforcement. Once they know they cannot run away, they will go and do their particulars. And if they don't do their particulars, you can always know. If you tell me your vehicle number now, is there anybody with vehicle? Let us just try. Okay, don't give me your vehicle number. Give me any vehicle you know. That's an Abuja. Hold on. Don't tell me that's your vehicle. Just wait now. I'm not going to put that. I went to school in Sokoto. So you know Sokoto is very far. You have to give me the benefit of now. Oh yeah, give me the number. APC.
Yes, sir.
Are you alright?
APC.
I thought you had time to 17.
SS. Chokoto.
Your particular will expire on April 17, 2019.
Yes, sir. That is a NIID.
Now, your vehicle genuineness, it is a Toyota Venza.
Yes, sir.
Saloon car.
Yes, sir.
No, I won't go. That's it. When did you renew the license?
Sir?
When did you renew the particulars?
Yesterday.
That's like I told you, 17th of
April.
That is the kind of thing we want you to have. So already now we don't have the roadworthiness on it. Within the next one, we'll put the roadworthiness on it. We are going to put insurance on it. So when you stop a vehicle, you don't need to look the particulars. Once the vehicle is stopped, the man will say, bring your particular. You tell him, bring your particular. One of you don't press the thing. Just say, that your vehicle particular is okay. Go. Your vehicle expired yesterday. Why? He will explain. Then you just give him a bill. Tell him his money is 20,000 naira. If he agrees, I'm just giving an amount, 5,000. If he agrees, he brings out his ATM card. He pays. He collects a receipt. If he disagrees, give him a ticket. He goes to court. He can go and challenge. If he doesn't have money, you give him opportunity to go to the next ATM machine. He pays his fine. He goes his way. No, they say, tire road, driver job. So, to now tell you, there are so many products on this our EV-Reg. The EV-Reg people will come and explain to you. I don't want you to explain to them the Abuja inspector. Oh, that new system, temporarily among us, we are calling it Abuja inspector. So for those who are watching us on the media, what we are saying when it gets to the public is just to say that we met with our VIU, sensitizing them on the media, because the media they will carry it. Say we are planning. Then when you carry it, we are as the first line user, we are sensitizing. So they will take you through our processes. You can do everything on this our electronic platform, and we don't want you to collect cash from anybody. Please don't collect cash from anybody. So today you have your phone with you.
Yes, sir.
So when it is time, your Oga Madata will come and tell you how to download this application and have it on your phone. The first vehicle you should check is your own. It's your own. One of the directors in FCT came in this morning. As she parked, she has a blue cover on her plate number. I just checked the number, the thing passed, and I went to her. I said, Madam, you can't use the blue. She said, somebody sold it to me at the mechanic shop. I said, it's illegal. She said she will remove it. I said, your vehicle license will expire on so. She said, how did you know? I said, it's on my phone. And she was excited. So we want you to be seen as professionals. Now, we also want to start keeping data. We have discovered 55% of vehicles on our road are not roadworthy. That's why we started Operation Crocodile. We want you to know what we are doing deeper, so that you can tell your personnel. Operation Crocodile is to make sure every vehicle that is not roadworthy must leave our road. I can see the FRSC too have joined. Today, most of the roads I pass through, I see VIO, I see FRSC, you guys are checking. Yes, people will be angry. I will go on radio every day to defend it until we get the last vehicle that is not roadworthy out of the road. We are not going to stop. So we are now undergoing what we call the real change. This government is about change, and we need to change with the government. We need to change with the people. We need to change. We need to change. I'm not saying we want to change. Alhaji Lai Mohammed said this. It is change from impunity to accountability. People will not be happy with change. You know why? You don't want to. So whatever you people say, whatever they say, it is a sign that you know things are wrong. Change is the only thing that is constant in the world. So we must change, because that is the only constant thing in the world. And it is in this regard that I want to manifest, Mr. President, that I am impressed with your performance. That you we have asked 350 of you to join the traffic management cadre. Please encourage them to join. They will not regret it. The current head of traffic management in Edo was the former LASMA staff. The current head in Oyo was the former LASMA staff. In many of the companies, which company is this? Dangote Refinery, the head of logistics was the former LASMA staff. The companies will keep running after you, because the kind of the one we want to impact you will be so great. I didn't read transportation. It is going to be working with LASMA when I go for conference. So who is a better professor? It is you. So that is why I am appealing to you. Do something now that will make you proud. Take advantage of all these little to get conversant with the EB-Reg system. Your relationship with FRC should be perfect. It's not superior or inferior. It should be, you are colleagues, and the relationship with what? Perfect. Don't harass anybody on the road. Give everybody the opportunity that he is right. And also remember, everybody you see on the road has fundamental rights. And his fundamental rights, because he's on the road and he's paying our salary, should be uppermost before our own. And I believe out of this deliberation today, a better road traffic services will emerge. Right? We are also planning so many things in your offices. If you can get it done, we are planning to create hotspots in your offices, so that when you are having your break, your lunch, you can, between 218 and 290, driver testing system. Where if you don't want to take them on the road, they can sit in the office, ask to drive around Abuja, and the man is driving on one point. We are testing his braking system. It will be possible. Thank you.
I think we can do that better. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. That was a very wonderful speech. And I'm sure that most of us here must have been encouraged by what the TS said himself, hearing from him. We'll be hearing from representatives attending meetings on our behalf. But those of us here this morning have been privileged to actually hear directly from the horse's mouth himself. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Moving forward, moving forward, we will be moving straight into demonstrating one of the two moving ahead, just because of the time, we're trying to manage time. Please, you can start enjoying some of the drinks and waters you have in your front, while our team prepare to actually showcase the proposed public transport management system, how it's going to look and how it's going to be. We just want to take that quickly before we have the feedback session. Then once we're done with that, we'll be doing another live demo immediately. So let's just have the team. Are we ready? we can be enjoying the water while the team in charge actually get themselves prepared. Okay, can we have your audience? For the members of the media, just like the Transport Secretary has said, now this is the proposed Abuja inspector. It's a system, just like we've actually seen him. We've seen him actually demonstrating from his phone, pulling out data of a Toyota Venza. Now, this will also aid the men and the person to come to you. They don't need to ask you of your papers any longer. Now, with your plate number, they can tell whether the vehicle, the particulars you have on that vehicle is genuine or not. Then secondly, there are other layers of transaction we're going to be taking you through. We're going to be running you through. But the application is in two phases. You have a phase for members of the general public, and you also have a phase that will also aid our operations, EV-reg operations payment in-house. Are we ready, sir? Are we good to go? Now, this is how the interface is going to be looking like. I'm sure we recognize the lady on the screen there that she's one of us. There are two modules. Once you launch the applications on your phone, for now it's available on Play Store. So immediately you launch the application on your phone, you have two modules that comes up immediately. You have verify and you have login. Now, I will start from verification process. Now, members of the general public who can also download this application to actually check. Now, we've seen scenarios where people actually, you arrest them on the field and they will tell you, someone actually did these papers for me. And you tell them, but these vehicle papers are not genuine. Now, it is because we want to actually address that we actually brought this. Now, if you're actually outsourcing, if you can't go to the center yourself to actually have your vehicle documents printed, and you are consulting someone to do it for you. Now, in order to check the balance of counterfeiting of documents, you can download this application live on your mobile phone. That's for members of the general public. Now, you click verify. Can we go? Click verify. Now, I just ask you to put your plate number on it. Can we just have any plate number? ABJ
303.
ABJ 303.
NM.
303. NM. Yes. Okay, can we check the validity of this plate number? Now, the plate number is valid. Expiry date, Wednesday 28th November 2018. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, can we check done? Now check the genuineness. Now, it's a Toyota RAV4 Jeep, black in color.
Yes.
Now, for security reasons, we want to for security reasons and for privacy's sake, we're not going to be showcasing that for now. I've just noted them down. We're going to have an interactive session where we'll have feedback from you, please. You want? Okay, can we check another one quickly? SABA. SABA.
No space, 2019.
219.
2019.
Okay, can we check the validity? No.
No, twice.
You have repeated it twice. Take Anna. Okay, can we? Okay. Now the plate number is valid. Expiry date 12th of April 2019. Let's check genuinity now. Okay, it is not an FCT number, thanks. No, now we're taking note of this special, this fancy plate number. Please, the development team, can we also have a note of that? Now, why we're also doing this is just to have a feedback from you. In the course of developing this aspect wasn't taken care of, but we're going to address that. Oga doesn't want us to know the kind of case driving a Prado 2016. Okay, can we check again?
ABC 13.
Okay, ABC. Can you take out ABC? JP. Okay, can we check the validity? The number is valid, expiry date 24th of October 2018. Can we check the genuineness? Done. So, okay, make Lexus, I can't see this clearly. Okay, it's alright, sir. Okay, please, we can download this on our phone. It's available on Google Play Store now. No, the name is not there. The name on Google Play Store is Abuja Inspector. Google Play Store. We don't have it on iPhone now, and we don't have it on Windows. But plans are in the works to actually get them on those stores. So on Android, if you're using an Android phone, you can download this as we speak immediately. Now, we can also relate that to our colleagues who are out there on operations. Please, we can just download that on our phone too. Actually, we need to move very, very fast. Okay. Now, this aspect we have shown, our men and members of the general public can actually have it. They have access to it. Now, can we go to login? Now, you also see login. Now, this is going to actually be handled by the ICT department. Now, what this is going to be doing is that it also aids in operations, processing transactions. If you want to process transactions, so for you to be able to use this, the people, the team in charge of ICT will need to profile you and give you a login credentials before you're able to use it. So he's trying to put the login credentials now. He's trying to put in the login credentials now. First, I will be starting from the offenses aspect of it. Now, just like the Transport Secretary said earlier, with this now you can be able to book offenders right there on the spot. Now, we want to also make, in as much as you know that they are offenders and they are expected to pay fines and penalties, but we want to also simplify these processes for them. Why? Because at times you might arrest them Friday evenings and the banks have already closed, or you arrest them after work hours and the banks have already closed. Now, we want to also help to mitigate that. Now, if you arrest someone and he said, I have my ATM card, you can issue him a ticket and he pays with his ATM card. But if he says, I want to go to bank, what that means is that you issue him a ticket with a transaction ID, he takes that to the bank, pay, and once he pays, it reflects on the system. And I want to also make this clear. Immediately you issue out a ticket to someone, it is only the director that has the right or that has the privilege to actually say, okay, please let go. Please reduce the amount for him, or depending on what, it is only the director that has been given the privilege for now. So, sir, going ahead, sir, your table is going to be, I don't know how we want to do it, sir, but I know the people around it will help you to actually address that. So let's go to offenses. Let's go to offenses.
Sorry,
no.
Excuse me.
Okay, sir.
It opens there, it does not open here.
Let me see what you have.
ABC 30 here.
Yes.
Tell me that it's not their name and has not been assigned to anybody. Spacing.
There's no spacing.
Or sometimes
No. No, we're taking, please, let's just note all this observation down. It's a feedback. We're just trying to showcase it to you because we're going to be the end users. Now, you have these categories of offenses. You have license condition general, you have improper parking, you have speeding, you have right of way, you have traffic signs and road marking, you have wrong way traffic, overtaking, vehicle defect, excessive loading, breakdown vehicle on carriageway, alcohol and drugs, safety devices, damage to public presence and infrastructure, motorcycle riders, pedestrian offenses. So you have all these categories of offenses that are on the system currently.
Infractions, not offenses.
Sorry, infractions. I take that correction, sir. So we have all these categories of infractions on the system. So once you pick, let's take overtaking for instance. Now, you're overtaking where prohibited. Now, you see the fine there, the fine you're expected to pay there is 3,000. And you can see from the application ad. Now, the essence is that at times you flood down somebody and you find out that there are many offenses, infractions. There are many infractions that person. There are many infractions that has been identified with that person. One, maybe it's having the road ordinance is not valid, and you discovered a lot of other infractions. Now you have what you have here. You add. Now the rates have already been specified there, 3,000. So once you click the 3,000, now there is a cut here. It goes there to add. So if there are other infractions too,
like they are
Jumia, sorry.
Konga.
Yes. A typical example is Jumia, Konga, Udala, and just to mention but a few. So once you add all of them, let's pick one for instance. You click add. Now you see that the cart here has turned to 1. Let's add another item. Now you see it has turned to 2. Let's proceed. Go to cart. Now it's telling you that the total infractions this person has committed is 6,000. The first one 3,000, the second one 3,000. So total is 6,000. Let's proceed to payment. Now you have ATM and you have bank deposit. Now these, like I said earlier, if the person wants to pay there and he has his or an ATM card, in as much like the transport secretary said earlier, we're actually there to actually serve this efficient service delivery. And despite the fact that they've committed this infraction, we want to actually simplify the process for them to actually pay. Like I said, you can arrest someone after work hours. And instead of keeping that vehicle till the next Monday when the banks will be open for transaction, if I have my ATM card, I can actually click ATM card. If I want bank deposit, let's do bank deposit first. Let's do bank deposit. Are we there?
Click now.
Okay. Just okay.
82
DY. Now the essence of collecting this data is because we want to put a database in place. We want to know, do we have particular category of people that are regular offenders on our road?
Why did you put the name there? Don't put the name, you bring the name automatically. Don't put name.
Okay, we've taken note of that. Once you pull the plate number, you should pull out the person's details. It pull out the person's details. Okay, we've taken note of that. So pull this out from the system if it exists. But just in case it doesn't exist, maybe with plate number for another step. No, we're working. So once we have that, it is good. So you click bank deposit, for instance. Now it generates a receipt, a ticket for you like this. So this person now takes the ticket to bank and actually make payment.
The ticket doesn't show the offenses. Modify the ticket to show the offenses.
Please, can we take note? The ticket should be modified to show the offenses. Okay, I've learned that it's on the receipt.
Okay, it shows on this.
Okay, it shows on the receipt. So that is for the offenses aspect of it.
So let it go round. Oh, it can't print more.
Please, can I have one of those POS terminals? Please, can I have one of those POS terminals? One of the POS terminals. With the transport secretariat. Now, every operation team on the road is expected to have one of these terminals. Are we there? You're expected to have one of these terminals, and I'm sure the transport secretary is already working on it with the consultant. So with this now, printing, like the ticket will be shown, will be printed from here directly. Now, if you want to also verify, there are other things you can do right there on the field. So you book them. And we, like he also said, now maybe you do improper, hello. Now you can also book someone, like you said, we're also working on that aspect to book someone, and you also send everything.
Can you also issue that one?
The ticket we just showed is the one for the man to go and pay himself.
Let's do it.
Okay, no, that is what we've shown you now. The other one is the one that he will use to pay with ATM card.
Okay.
Yes. Can we click done? Done. Now, still go back to that same offenses again. Infractions. Please, let's take note and change this to infractions instead of offenses.
No, leave it as offenses.
Okay. So let's take improper parking for instance. Now, okay, can we click the first item there? Add. Now, can we go to the cards? Now, proceed to payment. ATM card. Okay, can we put some information? ABC 111, ABC 111, AA. Okay, can you just use any generic name there? Okay, can we proceed? Okay, proceed. ATM card. Okay, so at this point, it's asking you to insert your ATM card. Can I have a sample ATM card if you have any there? No, we won't collect. No, it's just for demonstration purposes. No, I'm not. I won't even proceed. It's all right. Now we can see that the terminal actually has a portion where you put your ATM card. Do we get that? So can we proceed? Let's use the other terminal there that we were using to demonstrate. So it's asking you to insert your card. At this point, once you insert your card and you read the information, it asks you first what kind of account, just like we use on our normal POS. Is it current or savings? So once you input the card pin, it asks you to wait. Now, if there's not enough funds on that card, it brings out this response to you: insufficient funds. But I know Madam has plenty of money here. So if you want to also print, you print. But once you have sufficient funds to pay for the infractions you have committed, it debits your card immediately and issues you a ticket. So at that point, the head of that team or the head of that enforcement team can actually sign on the ticket. Yeah, the head of that team can actually sign on the tickets that have been printed, and you give the person a copy.
First, what this man is saying, you are busy arguing with yourself. Now you get to the road and start doing something else. Now,
at this point, it prints out 2 receipts for you. You issue one to the person who has committed the infraction, and you also keep one for record purposes. And mind you, like I said, once you have issued this ticket, it reports to the system directly. It reports to the system. So if the man is begging, I don't have money now, it's only Ogawa Data, permit me, sir, that has the right to actually say, okay, let him go, or not let him go, but it's actually there on the system. It's actually there on the system. So that is for that on the infractions. Can we also go to other aspects of, can we go done? Can we click done? Now you also have other operational items that are here. Now, you see vehicle registration there. Can we click on vehicle registration? Now, from here also, people could pay for, just like the self-service kiosk you have at some of the centers, people could pay for vehicle revalidation, vehicle renewal. Can we click on vehicle renewal? Can we click on vehicle renewal? This is revalidation. This is okay. We have renewal of registration for private vehicle with engine capacity 1.6 and below is 2,950. Is that what you have on your system? If you're renewing a vehicle papers with engine capacity 1.6 and below for the renewal alone, that's the VL renewal. You have individual items, and I'm sure of that. You have individual items. You have individual items. You have all of that.
They don't do it. 1.6, they don't do it.
They don't do it. Again.
They are not doing it. We have, but they don't do it.
No, we're just giving but it's still there in the system. But some please, can you just go back? Let's take another category of vehicle. Let's take another category of vehicle. Okay, no, renewal, still click renewal. No, go ahead, go ahead. Now you have, okay, go ahead. Now you have renewal of registration for private vehicle with engine capacity between 1.6 and 2.0. Do we have that? Now the amount you have here is 3,575. Is that what you have on your system? So with this now, you can actually make payment and generate transaction PIN. Transaction PIN is what actually enables you to process a transaction on the EVRED platform. So from this, you can be able to generate this. We're trying to see how to make your job easier. Now instead of someone coming to the center and said, I want to renew my vehicle, go to bank to pay, we're providing multiple channels to actually help them to register their vehicle or renew their vehicle particulars with ease. We're working because these motorists are there. So we want to see how we can create this process. We want to see how we can make it more simpler for them to register. So that what you used to hear on Brekete and others, want to see that next time maybe when somebody goes there to talk about us, the narrative will be different. So these are innovations that are upcoming. Can we also can we go back to the main landing page? Now for computerized, we also see that there's computerized vehicle inspection there too. So you can also pay for computerized vehicle inspection item. So you also have all these on the platform. Can we scroll up? Now, driver license and learner's permit. We also have that there. And when someone comes and wants to make payment for learner's permit, because that is the process, that is where it actually begins for. You can actually make the payment here, generate a transaction fee for him, and give to the processor that will actually go and process that particular transaction. The same thing also goes for driving license. So I don't know, can we go take the next demonstration before we take our feedback, please? Are we good? Are we good to go? The people managing the public transport management system. Okay, please, can we just switch call quickly, please? The PTM, they're just trying to switch code to the other system. Let's take feedback first. Okay, approval has been given that we should take feedback. Okay, sir. Okay, let's put on the lights, please. Let's put on the light, please. Because I need someone to actually assist me here to nominate. Please, if you have anything you want to ask or contribution, please can we see your hands so that we just take one. Okay, we take the number 1. Any other person? Question, feedback. Okay, is here. 2. Okay, we just have 2 persons for now. 3, sir. Okay, number 1. Can we? Yes, I want after you roll. Okay, sir.
my question goes on the renewal of vehicle license, which has been observed and has been a regular thing that if you have to renew a particular for a vehicle now, let's say Mabuchi, and I renew the vehicle license, I misplace it. And the same person I went to or go to Kenya to renew it. The system there will accept it and it will still renew the same particular that has been renewed in Mabuchi at the same time. Whereas in
Mr. Tubosun, please, we need your attention here. Please, can you come forward?
In other states, if you renew in that state, in one local government, you stay in the system. And in case of any loss, you now continue to renew. But in FCT, it's not like that.
So why is it like that?
Our system accepts multiple payment for the same service at a given period of time, if it has not expired.
Explain again.
Let's say I went to Mabuchi to renew my vehicle license now. Within a month, I misplaced it. Within a month, I misplaced it, and I said, okay, to avoid any arrest or whatever, I want to go and renew the same vehicle license in Yanya or in Mabuchi. If I pay for the second one, you will still accept it.
Do you want to reject it? Yes. I do reject it. Sorry, you can't say the price is not here. Many of you are too low. I've discovered that dealing with your heads. And it's because you don't really know the rules and the laws. It is your decision to go and re-register. No system will reject you. What the system will do, if you pay again, it will post it to 2020.
It's fresh again. You are just coming in to renew. It will be like this. I just renewed now. Mistakenly, I misplaced the paper. If I go back again to renew,
just wait. You are even talking like you are not qualified to be a BIO man. To say somebody document is lost and is coming to say you don't come to renew, you come to ask for a new document. You don't need to pay. Listen, you people must have been doing the wrong thing. For you to even ask the person to pay. Listen, please. You people should learn. So many things you are doing are wrong. And that is the essence of this meeting. Agreed. It is not impossible. A system is not configured to reject money. You get it? But you, the officer, you are wrong. So ask the person to pay again. Why? Listen, please. Will you listen first? That's why you will never understand it. Do you have any reason to ask a man to register again? No.
We are not
Wait. You are the one giving the scenario. If you have no reason to ask a man to pay again, why should the man pay? The man must be dumb. You get it? For him to have lost his particulars, he knows better than you because he earns the money. He pinches his pocket. He will not go and make another payment in order to have another paper. He will come to your office and ask you, what do I do? Am I wrong?
So I think the system.
No, listen. Look, I am here to educate them. I have interacted with you severally. I have taken you to FRSC on issues that we shouldn't get to FRSC. When your officers, your heads don't even know the vehicle registration process. 3 times on the same issue, I've been to FRSC. I don't want media here. So that's the essence of this program. That's why you continue to argue. If I've lost my driver license in the US, and I got to FRSC, we went with VIO, and I just said, wait, you are the one printing this document. I can't find my driver. Even if I don't have the old temporary, all they need to put is my name. And they printed another one for me. Listen to me. You are a disgrace to VIO. I have asked people who have lost their driver license and I have told them to go to the centers here in FCT. When you yourself don't even understand the process, somebody else like you, like him, as a member of the public, tell them what you will do. He's a member of the he's a journalist.
I will simply ask for another one. I will go to all of them from FRC. FRC. Okay.
So will you go and play?
I will pay. How would I pay?
Madam, please stand up, stand up. You are a disgrace. Stand up, you are a disappointment. You are a disappointment. You are a madam, please move out first. Get out of here. I'm talking, you are talking. I'm talking to you, you are talking to people. You are not disciplined. Move out. Where is the provost? Where is the provost here? Who is the provost?
No provost.
We are talking here, she still arguing with people. Because you don't know. And that's the problem with many of you. You have this platform, you don't even know how to use it. Many of your DTT, which one does this vehicle registration? They don't even know the rules on change of ownership until I have to drag them to a meeting. I was part of those who developed the current vehicle registration system for this country. And what you are doing are wrong. You don't know the process. And you are not ready to learn. The same thing we went through in Lagos. When you are given a brand new vehicle with 7 seats, saying they don't have roadworthiness, a brand new vehicle. It is after 5 years, they say because it's 7-seater.
After 4 years.
It's 5 years. Saying it because it doesn't have, it has 7 seats, so it's a commercial vehicle. That was your old thinking. That's not the law. So you people should learn the law. It is law that drives your job. And there is a process behind the law. That's why we brought you here. So when you come here and you are doing something and they are pointing it out to you that is wrong, cool down. You are telling a journalist that is stupid, that he will go and pay. That's what the lady did. As the man was telling him that, I won't pay, he said, no, you will pay. So if you do that in this room, what will you do outside? You will slap him. You will slap him. No, nobody, no idiot will lose his driver license and just on his own go and pay. Somebody must have told him to pay. Because that person is not a thief. He's not a looter. You know that looter's list. Except you're on the looter's list, will you lose your driver license and go and pay without asking VIO or FRC? So when they come to you, you should have told the person, you don't need to pay. What if that is in your book? If it is not in your book, you ask your superior. What do we do to this man who has lost his driver? There is a price for replacement. Printing is just 3,000 naira. That's what the man is. If it is a vehicle registration document, valid. When it says valid, all you need to do is to issue him a letter that this document is lost and it will expire on so date. If there is any payment, if it's in your paper, he pays. If there is no payment specified in your paper, I will lose something and will just go and pay. Say because I want to have another one. So don't make that kind of statement. And when you make it, they correct you. Stop arguing. You know what I'm shouting at the top of my voice? This is against service delivery. You are the one, and all of you are shouting the same way because you have been misinforming people in the public. You need to change. There are rules that guide this job, not your own thinking. It is based on rules. This man is showing you, is it 2005, is it 3000? Because that is what the rule says. You cannot change it. Now, assuming the system is defective, yes, we face it. But for the system to be defective, and you people have been doing it, and it is only today, after many years, 10 years, it seems we have a problem. That's the reason why I got angry. I said, repeat it. And I can see from my commanders here, they are also happy. That means they too don't know the rules. And the lady who is supposed to listen, somebody said, I won't pay. He said, you pay. Can you imagine that kind of language? And I'm sitting here. That means if she's a woman, she's slapping people. Where is she? Who has that to go out? I said you should go and meet provost. Are you a VI officer? Where's your beat? So that means that's why she doesn't know the rules. You qualify to answer it. You are not a road traffic service personnel. You are an audit personnel. Why we brought you here is to know the. But if you are talking like a member of the public, you are right. If our men have been deceiving members of the public, but that is not to say no, you will pay. You cannot even know. You don't go for the training. Your own is to determine how much is our salary. And determine over time. What's your name? And your line is here. No, let him say. So that maybe clear.
Hello, sir. The system, after 3 months, you cannot retrieve to make the vehicle access back. Okay. After 3 months, sir, you cannot give me the mic. Hello, one house, please. One house to prove the validity of my answer. I will invite Malam Awad and Raji to answer this question. Thank you. Because the admin is the custodian of everything. So one of you should please address this so that the entire house can take care of it.
Okay. I think we decided together according to the law. Before we could print the VR several times. And you know anything that doesn't have control will be abused. And the cost of VL2 is not cheap. So it was decided that if of the renewal, it could be reprinted. But after 3 months, what to actually do? But now we said if it is still valid, we could issue a letter, which will be a very good option.
So today, to the person, what your people say, the people are
Yes, they did. For that. They actually have.
So you can see there that are perfectly correct. It is you people who ask the person to go and pay. Sit down, no respect. You are an officer, see the way you are talking. You are not like this. Sit down. No respect. One of you are clearly captured it. Kind unlucky. Now, the problem you have, you are the one who told the person that the system can no longer print. That all he can do, he has no option but to repay. He has just answered that they never thought they could just give the person a letter. It shows you, all of you who are heads, have never thought of something better. So relax. Stop showing your not Stop showing your ignorance. This system is developed for you to use. It's having a challenge. Somebody has paid. Does he pay twice? No. So if the system is causing the person to pay twice, have you reported to him? No. I walk you out. When somebody is talking, you interject. I walk you out and demote you. I will demote you. I'm serious. It shows a sign that you are not disciplined. Your director is sitting down here, I'm here, talking, you are replying us. I will walk you out. And I'm not joking. You are an assistant director. At your level, people will report to you. And you'll be able to take action. For you to say we report is a shame on you. You are supposed to take action and solve the problem. Once you get to level 14, you have to take action and solve problems. Not to say you reported. And we all need to be careful. I have never seen, I have consulted for more than 15 states. I've never seen a state. Please, nobody record it. As this is discipline. As traffic officers. And it has shown today. It has shown today. And that's why you cannot give service to the public. You have to be very careful. It is not going to be acceptable. And that's why we would say something on the platform. And none of you, as the head, will talk to your men. That is why commanders and ATOs will be having unnecessary arguments. That's why somebody will not come to work, you will not report. Only for me to start saying, why are you not sending me? They say they have not reported. Are you not supposed to report? That's why you will not issue a query to a junior staff. So we need to sit down. We need to sit down and follow the rules. Some people don't have jobs. We have jobs. Just now we just talked about the lady and a level 15 officer. He's also talking at the top of his voice, giving us a response. That means you don't even respect your director. This man has raised a valid issue. And I can tell you, as I was speaking, he realized he could have solved the problem. Am I wrong?
Yes, sir.
He realized it. I saw him. No, he realized he could have solved the problem. That's why I said I don't see problem in my life again. Somebody come to you crying. I can't have pregnancy. Pray for him, he will have. If IBFW of somebody will pregnant somebody, you carry the baby. Yes. They come to that level. And if that one no work, you adopt. Don't be your wiki. Why do you say you have problem? There is no problem in the world bigger than that. I like the way I'm talking because I know I have interacted with your men. I went to FRC 3-4 times. This man is always there. We will say there is a problem. I will explain to them there is not a problem. And because they don't know the system. We will get to FRC and say, we are hearing it for the first time. We have done this, we have done this. We will resolve, we will leave. 2 weeks after, I will say, has it been solved? They say they have not attended to us. I will go back there. I will see the problem is still there. Because you have in your head that it is a problem. And you have conceived in your mind that somebody is wrong. So if your system is failing, don't hesitate not to say that. So you will say more now today. And will find answers to them. So I don't blame you. You know who I blame? Your leadership. Who has not been giving you time, opportunities to get it out. But when you are getting it out, don't be unruly. And just be behaving like street level people. How do they not behave when customers come to your yard? You start beating them with sticks. We need to be, to show them air condition under 11 now. This place is cool, no stress. Some people have finished 2 bottles of orange juice. This one I want to jam.
Thank you, sir. Just to complement what you have just said. To complement what the secretary said, the system has is constituted now. After 3 months, we cannot get the DL again. But an indirect receipt confirming that the validity of that document the document is still valid, is issued and has been countersigned by the head of MLA.
That's your
question, sir. It's a case where erroneously the document is submitted and it has been reviewed. Now, Mr.
Is the system not supposed to?
Which one? You want the only expired one. The only valid one is taken. The system prompts that detail of the vehicle still exists.
You are making noise.
The system prompts.
Maybe I will say we are in machine.
The system prompts that detail of the vehicle still already captured, and we proceed and complete the transaction. Only to confirm that vehicle or the document had been renewed earlier. So already we have already configured